It was 2 years ago. Megyn Kelly speaks off the cuff about blackface. What is racist, she asks.
But what is racist? Because truly, you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface on Halloween.
It was a difficult moment for the host, but perhaps she did us a favor, unintentionally pointing out this country's widespread ignorance about blackface, forcing a conversation that should be taking place in classrooms and households across the country, but isn't.
Oh, those comical endmen!
To me, I would say there's a lot wrong with blackface.
UCLA's Dr. Tyrone Howard, professor of education and expert on multicultural issues, helps us understand by taking us back to the 1830s, when slavery was alive and well, and minstrel shows were the popular form of entertainment.
Some folks get gray hair, some folks do, some folks do.
And the minstrel shows were all about reinforcing black inferiority. And the way that whites, to entertain other whites, would reinforce that was to paint themselves with these black faces.
For 150 years, blackface lived on as one of the most devastating and racist examples of stereotyping.
They depicted black people as being unable to speak clearly. They depicted black people as being really cowardly. They depicted black people as being uneducated. They depicted black people as being lazy.
Well, why don't you get a job and go to work? You almost had me a job this morning.
And really of no value. And people laughed at these images. And people made fun of these images.
How would you like to go to work for me? Yes, ma'am. How much you gonna pay me, I hope? Well, let's see now. I'll pay you all your work. No, ma'am. I gotta have some money.
The character names alone were an insult, like Darky on the Plantation or the Dandified Coon.
And the reality is, a lot of people looked at those images and saw those images and began to think, this is who black people are. And so those stereotypes have lasted for a long time, and blackface is a big part of that.
You may have heard the name Jim Crow. You may already know it's associated with a racist era in our history. But Jim Crow wasn't a politician or a racist leader. He was a fictional blackface character created by a white actor pretending to be a slave. The horribly demeaning character became so popular when slaves were freed, laws were created to deny African Americans their rights, and they named the laws after Jim Crow.
So there's a lot that's wrong with blackface because that's an ugly episode in our history. It's a painful thing to think about being portrayed in that way. And people say this is just not a big deal. It's just blackface, get over it.
And so it continues. From politicians who've embarrassingly done it, to partiers claiming to be playing a character on Halloween, to college gatherings, to mainstream movie roles, to TV hosts asking, what's wrong with blackface?
I think we've got a lot of education to do. I think here we are in the 21st century and we're still having to explain blackface to highly educated people. It speaks to the ways in which we've not addressed racism head on.